Hey, y'all, grab me. Any day above ground, live it. Black people, we are our own worst enemy. So Sha'Carri Richardson messed up. She had cannabis in her system, and now she's been disqualified from the 100 meters at the Olympics, which starts 3 weeks from today. And she went on Good Morning America. She said all the right things. You know, she messed up. Yeah, it was a tough time, but I shouldn't have done it. You know, hopefully I'll come back from this stronger than before. She's only 21, folks. So she has maybe 4 or 5 more Olympics in her. So respect her on that. What pissed me off is the lack of awareness from, I'm not even gonna say black people, I'm gonna say from niggas. And this nigga mentality. Because once again, both of those entities showed up. Because we have, you know what, I'm not gonna say that word anymore. We have no-nos and nincompoops running all over social media talking about how this is wrong and this is egregious and she should be able to run. Look, I'll show it to you. You see that? No, you see that idioticness? This is what I'm talking about. We are our own worst enemy. Shout out to my wife for reminding me of that. We are like Spider-Man. We create our own enemies. I love the comment where it said, oh, the USADA should just let her back in. Okay, person who said that, she, at this point, is not under them. The World Anti-Drug Agency, Anti-Doping Agency, that's who she's answered to. That's who suspended her, not the USADA. So your statement doesn't make sense. But what pissed me off even more than that is what I'm about to show you on the screen. I swear to God, that smelled like a Black Lives Matter Global Foundation petition. Who the hell says things like that? Number one, what killed me was I didn't even know she was part of the LGBT. And I didn't care. So for them to throw that in there, why? Does that mitigate what she did? She's a human first before she's queer. She made a mistake. They're not going to say, oh, that queer person made a mistake. No, they're going to say that person made a mistake. That black woman made a mistake. That runner made a mistake. They're not going to say that queer athlete made a mistake. But fine. We go back to the first stop. Why would you bring up archaic laws? Again, she is under the governance of the World Anti-Doping Body. If that's their rule, that's their rule. You have to be under that rule and respect it. Just like they tell you when you go to the Olympics as an athlete, You are to stay within the confines of the Olympic vicinity. You cannot go off on your own outside of that radius because they cannot be responsible for your safety and security. I don't understand what the problem is. Why can't you just respect the rules? You're going to tell me y'all pissed off that she couldn't resist smoking weed or ingesting cannabis for 2 weeks? Now y'all want her to come into the race because she messed up, and in this world all of a sudden we reward mistakes? Y'all got to think. But the egregious statement, again, and this goes back to what I posted on Instagram yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Where black people are sitting here debating you, and they bring up things that do not pertain to the subject. Why? Well, a quick example. I was debating on the Savoy Show page on Instagram, and I was defending Bill Cosby, and this chick decided to bring up Trump. Those two had nothing to do with each other. But off that. What am I saying? In that statement, the second page, why would you bring up upper middle class white people doing recreational marijuana? What does upper middle class white people have to do with a 21-year-old black queer athlete putting illegal drugs in her system before the Olympics? That made no sense. She messed up. She took accountability. We should be celebrating that, because we know black people have a hard time accepting accountability. You brought race into a discussion that did not elicit a race discussion. Then y'all tried to double down on it, bringing up Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps did not do cannabis before the Olympics or during the Olympics. He did it after, where he got all his endorsements. He thought he was on easy streak. All he had to do was a few appearances. They weren't going to knock him. No. The way this works, folks, I'm going to explain this to you. Two things. One, with the Michael Phelps situation, once you get these endorsements as an Olympic athlete, you're not marketing to adults after that. You're marketing to children and young teenagers because you're put up as a role model. So, when a company gives you that much money, they're asking you just to do one thing: uphold a standard that can be translated to anybody, especially the impressionable. He did not follow that, and he lost a lot of his endorsements. Again, and he couldn't compete in the 2009 World Championship where he was going to defend his crown. So, he messed up. We're talking about somebody who did it before the games even started. And y'all are going this hard. But number two, and more importantly, I saw this other comment. They were like, they just wanted to do anything to make sure this woman didn't run. Let me explain something to you, ladies and gentlemen. Do you understand the storyline that was written right now for this Olympics before this happened? Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce is currently the fastest woman in the world. Olympics based. She maybe has 1 or 2 more Olympics in her. She's the standard right now. You have Sha'Carri Richardson, a 21-year-old upstart, going for this woman's crown. Couple that with the fact she just lost her mom. She got all that press for breaking a world record at the trials. You put her there, and shout out to Elaine too. You'd have had those three women in 100 meters the first week of the Olympics, where that event, whether it's men or women, notoriously gets high ratings. Because if y'all remember, back in the day, Michael Johnson versus Donovan Bailey, Tyson Gay versus Bolt, Shelly Ann versus the Americans, everybody tuned in to see that. It was must-see TV. You couldn't write this. If Shelly Ann won, okay. That might have been her last Olympics. She bows out with grace. They put her over as a legend. Now there's an opening for a new legend. Sha'Carri raises her and beats her. It becomes a passing of the torch moment. The amount of money in commercials and endorsements and ad revenue that they would have gotten off this race alone would have been maybe in the hundreds of millions of dollars worldwide. It might have topped billions. Why would the IOC and the World Anti-Doping Agency risk that to knock one racer? But this is what I mean. Black folks don't think. Everything is emotional. There's no logic behind it. But hey, that's y'all. Y'all figure this out. Black people. We make it hard. Ninjas and nincompoops, y'all make it hard to fight for y'all. You do. You make it hard to defend. But anyway, it's a beautiful evening. It's July 4th weekend. All y'all, stay safe. I'm out.